It was a beautiful and hot summer day on the Greek Mediterranean island. In the legendary realms of Greece lies a small emerald green island called Thasos. The island itself is famous for its beauty and its ancient culture. And just like the whole country of Greece, this tiny island is deeply embedded with mesmerizing tales of ancient mythology. On this beautiful evergreen island of Thasos, surrounded by mountains and its clear, crystal Aegean sea waters, lies a waterfall known by the locals as Mary's. I grabbed my camera backpack and my trail running shoes as I decided to start my long, over 200-mile walking journey on a beautiful hot summer day. A long walk solely on foot to discover the whereabouts of Thasos Island's famous waterfall. I have heard many stories of this waterfall, yet little has been known about it. Most visitors of this island often neglected this location or never even heard of it in the first place. On this typical hot Mediterranean summer day on Thasos Island, my journey started from the small village city of Podos, heading for the Mary's waterfall. It was a beautiful Sunday morning when I headed out on foot towards Thasos Island's city of Limenaria, where I was hoping that the locals would point me in the right direction of the Mary's waterfalls. I have prepared myself only with one bottle of water since, for me, Sunday is a fasting day. Therefore, I haven't packed any food with me to sustain my physical and mental efforts of this day. I have stopped occasionally a few times on the way to admire the surrounding sights of Thasos Island or capture everlasting moments with my camera. My walk has led me by the edges of Podos City, which lies almost at the foot of the Aegean shores. Then, through the fairly large city of Limenaria, with some help from the locals, made a turn to the right at one point, where I continued my journey on foot on a much narrower and rarely circulated road towards Mary's waterfalls. On my journey, I have encountered the many mesmerizing natural beauties of Thasos Island. I slowed down a few times on my walk to take some photos while admiring the spectacular views of Thasos Island with its olive trees and typical Hellenic sights. As I was slowly advancing on my walk on the Greek mountain path, hot summer weather was getting more and more difficult to bear. I continued to push forward on my foot in the hot, arid Greek Mediterranean weather, with only a small water bottle in my hand and with no water springs anywhere nearby. Thasos Island's rocky path beyond the city of Limenaria seemed longer and more exhausting, as the hot Mediterranean summer sun was burning its rays upon the Greek island. I was accompanied by Thasos' lush green olive trees on both sides of the road, infused with the sweet aroma of the Mediterranean scent. With each step I made on the rugged mountain path, I became more tired and exhausted in the hot Mediterranean weather. After a while, as my legs were carrying me further, I noticed a couple of mountain peaks and a small Greek village at the foot of the mountain. I kept trailing on the rugged mountain terrain of the Greek Mediterranean island, slowly advancing through the dusty and hot summer air. As I walked forward on the Greek mountain path, both of my legs ached, and my whole body felt dry and exhausted as I ran out of water. Flashes of worry have invaded my thoughts as I kept going and praying to make it to the waterfall. It was at this point that I got really emotional, and my eyes filled with tears. In this moment, I felt a deep feeling inside my being that I cannot explain, a deep inner sense of love. It was like a spiritual message from within. I took out my notebook that I had been carrying in my backpack and wrote down the message. Just as the Holy Source, the Christ, has embodied into the material world as Jesus, the man has fallen from divinity and from an angel. He has become the Son of Man. The Son of Man can bear many burdens, but the Son of God can bear anything. The living God within the man supports the Son of Man, the matter, to bear anything at all. This knowledge is possessed by all human beings, but humanity has forgotten it. All humans have something valuable to teach, either consciously or unconsciously. Therefore, never judge anyone, as all human beings possess the inner wisdom received from the divine source. The living God within each human is love itself, and this is what the Son of Man, the matter, must learn in life. My Lord, teach the Son of Man what true love really is. Amen. This was the message I received at that moment of complete exhaustion and desperation. At this very moment, after I had received the message, I felt a deep sense of peace from within, and the chatter of my mind had disappeared. It is true what they say, that in moments of hardship and trials, God speaks to those that listen. It was a moment of pure joy and serenity, which gave me enough strength to continue my remaining journey. Shortly after I received this message, I encountered a mountain spring on the way, lying right at the foot of the Mediterranean mountain. At Thasos Island's mountain water spring, I drank some water with my hand and filled my flask afterward. I walked forward on foot on the rocky off-road path. The end of the path has led me to a small Greek village, where a local woman was selling honey, one of the most precious nectars of Thasos Island. Then, slightly down the road, I encountered a fairly large lake. With green crystal waters and its shores covered in green moss, a large and old wood trunk was resting right at the side of the green lake. I sat on the old wood trunk to rest for a little while. As it turned out shortly, I had arrived at the beginning of the waterfall of Thasos Island. It was like magic. After a few more steps and a couple of rocky climbs, I was there. A magical place of crystal green colored waters with a large tree's huge roots growing everywhere in the ground. It was like a small clearing depicted in fairy tales. The whole waterfall itself was pouring into several little ponds, divided by rocky steps. At the main waterfall area, another small oak tree was growing. The wet, rocky wall of the waterfall was covered in deep green moss everywhere. Small cave-like holes were visible on the wall, nearly overgrown by green moss. Mesmerizing. Magical. It was like the fairies and the elements of nature had come together to create a holy sanctuary for the weary wanderer. It was truly a resting place to invigorate the body and the soul. Among the magical wonders of these natural elements, a gecko was resting right on the rocky wall of the water pond. I grabbed my camera to immortalize it, but at that moment, it almost disappeared. In my mind, I immediately thought of a magical fairy who appeared to me in the shape of a lizard. A beautiful and colorful lizard. A sight I cannot forget. I have never seen a lizard with so many colors on its skin before. Even the name of this beautiful place told a story of long ago in an age of wonders and magic. I was mesmerized by the natural beauty of this place and how it soothed my tired body and soul. I have rested here for quite a while in the shade of an enormous tree, as I was baffled by its spiderweb-like roots. Growing everywhere, this old oak tree's roots were growing deep in the ground, while showing up on the ground's surface. Nature's pristine beauty, such magic. The human world is filled with such amazing wonders. But in our arrogance and our constant chase of fame and fortune, such splendors tend to be ignored. Shame. In this magical place of nature, I have pondered about the meaning of life, and all the other worldly matters seem so dull and insignificant all of a sudden. After I have rested a little more by the waterfall, with a truly peaceful feeling within, I have slowly prepared myself to head back to Thasos Island city of Podos, so I can arrive back before nightfall. The journey back on foot, even with my backpack, seemed lighter and much easier, like an easy walk. I felt a deep feeling of gratitude and appreciation for the beauty of nature and life in general. On my way back to Podos on foot, on the rugged Mediterranean terrain, I was contemplating the natural beauty of Thasos Island with its deeply embedded ancient culture, mythology, and local traditions. I arrived right before nightfall in Podos City, with a constant easiness in my body and mind. Such is the manner of faith. Such is the manner of love. It is, in a way, ironic that in certain trying moments of life, we are reminded of the true values that matter the most. Love for another. Love and respect for our Mother Earth, who shares her precious gifts with humanity. Such journeys are reminders of the wisdom of the living God within, and a powerful tool for forging and strengthening our faith. This is the true story of my journey. A story of faith and love. A story that I hope will inspire others to search for the true meaning of life and discover its hidden wonders.